Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Insights of Leone. My name is Yanisa Camara, and it's a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. First, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into it, let me just take some time to acknowledge the former president, Ernest Bai Koroma, for being nominated for a Lifetime Extraordinary Award of Excellence by the House of Lords on the 30th of this month, October. So he has been recognized by the House of the Lords for his extraordinary effort in strengthening international diplomacy and cooperation in Africa and worldwide. So, Sir Koroma, we applaud you. You know, sometimes being acknowledged for such high standards is something that one has to acknowledge. Now, my Sierra-Leoneans, I have something that is funny, but it's not funny. You know, have some of you ever heard of a forest guard? Do you know what a forest guard is? Do you know the colors of a forest guard? What is a forest guard? A forest guard is just a normal civilian that gets the job to stand in the forest so people don't come and build in the forest. So it's also in case a wild animal escapes the forest, they're to warn the people of this animal that is on the loose. However, unfortunately now, the forest guards are no longer forest guards. Okay, but before we go into it, ladies and gentlemen, we at Amaze TV want to acknowledge May White for her wedding. May, congratulations. Let's see this beautiful lady up on the scene. This was the day of the wedding. You know, May White is a part of the team. So I just wanted to take the time to congratulate her on, this wonderful ceremony. It's beautiful. Me, I love unity. I love the love aspect. So, with this being said, there's my lovely lady. Congratulations, May. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that cup she said was for me. And this is her on the day of the wedding. Always smiling, always happy. So again, May, from Amaze Television, Camara Youths, Appa, all of us here, and give love, show love. We want to give you love and show you love. Congratulations. Such a beautiful smile. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to acknowledge May. Now, back to what we were just talking about. The forest guards that are now automatically playing the position of policemen in Freetown, in Sierra Leone. Or are they trying to be army? Now, as some of you are aware, the forest guards are supposed to wear brown. These people that the government is putting in place, allegedly. We're not too sure in reference to that, how factual it is, or why the government's not getting involved. But it's just a lot going on. But we're going to, dissect it just a little bit to see what kind of truth we can get out of it. Now, if another party is in the office right now, another regime, another party, it's in the office, and such a thing happens, I wonder what a lot of you Sierra Leoneans would say. Our problem is that we're too busy taking sides. When APC is doing wrong, we don't want to speak on it. When SLPP is doing wrong, we don't want to speak on it. Well, at the end of the day, we need to call a spade a spade. We need to be honest with ourselves. And by us being honest with ourselves, the government will see the unity. And that's when a lot of this will stop. Now, the forest guards are supposed to wear brown. Or however have you, they're wearing green. Now, they're breaking into homes, stealing. I have some videos where they actually went to fight the police. The police and the forest guards are fighting because now the forest guards are actually arresting people. Is that a bit ludicrous? Yes, I've heard of citizens arrest. But when you wear a uniform and we don't know where you're coming from or where you're going, how are people supposed to feel safe? And some of you are going stealing, harassing people in the farms. Now you're taking it into the city. Where's the government? We are going to show you this video of the army and the police trying to fight off these people, the forest guards. And which indeed you can see there's no training for them to say, well, we have training. There's no training, it's just civilians creating a lot of havoc in our country. So this is the video of the forest guards and the police. We're supposed to be showing you the forest guards and the police. The thing that happens is that it's just a shame to what is going on in the country, because it's ludicrous for just anyone to put a uniform on and they can go and do as they please. So that is why we are calling this show What is Happening in Our Country in Sierra Leone. A lot of things that are happening should not be happening. Where's the government? Or is the government giving authority to people to harass the innocent people, the civilians of Sierra Leone? We really need to understand as to what is going on. So we're going to try to show you this video that we have. That's the forest guards outside in the green and the army and the police inside. The people that shot this video and sent it, they were, I think, shooting it from a wrong angle. So sometimes we are unable to edit it due to the way they shot the video. Now, I have a couple of different videos as well that you see them literally the forest guards and the army fighting. And also another video that we have where this man was on the floor. We don't know whether he's dead. We have yet to get confirmation of that. But I know a lot of you have seen some of these videos. So unfortunately, we apologize about that, but we are doing our best to make sure that the videos that we get are upright. Now, my only concern is that being that they're doing all of this, stealing and harming people, who is protecting the innocent, the elderly from these, hoodlums? Who has given them this uniform? Because it's not 1, 2, 10, or 20, it's 30 or 40 of them. So somebody has to be supporting them. Somebody has to be the one providing this for them. They cannot be going around violating these poor farmers. These people themselves are trying to struggle to have daily bread. And then these hoodlums are going to come and vandalize their farms and take what they want. Who is giving them the authority? We need to be realistic ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. There were citizens arrest. We're all aware of that. But there's no such thing as a hoodlum harassment. So we need to find a way to stop this. We as the people can talk. And the government that we give this power to have to try to uphold our words. It's not just for us to talk. For somebody to keep talking over and over, something has to be wrong. There has to be a correction somewhere. Now, let's talk about David Shanger. A lot of you know who David Shanger is. So I'm not even going to go talking too much about him. But being that they were doing this corruption investigation, there's so much things that have occurred in Sierra Leone, which indeed they should also be in the white sheet. So what I've been trying to do, if you've been following me, is that I have been trying to at least give you 1 or 2 things that are going on in Sierra Leone that is wrong, that I think and I know that should not be happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, David Shanger gave his father a $2 million contract. David Shanger gave gave his father a $2 million contract. Why would he do that? Is it legal that we cannot give anybody a contract because we have the position? It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong, and we need to stand up and do something. If we don't stand up, nobody is going to stand for us. I do apologize, ladies. I was just trying to respond to some of your messages. But I do try to communicate with you, but I cannot be communicating with you during the show. But however, I will respond after the show. And we do appreciate all the feedbacks, all the information you send in to us. And we do try to present the information. But again, we need to follow up on this information, making sure it is what it is. We don't want to look as though we're here to just favor people or favor a party. That is not what we're about. But Ben Khalifa, this is something that you should be investigating. This is something that you definitely need to look into as to why would this gentleman give his father this contract. Now, moving on to the Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Kante. I salute you, sir. I respect you. I respect what you did in time of that investigation. Mr. Kante is the gentleman that decided to stand up and resign and walk out. Many of you have seen that. And when he resigned, his staff, everyone said, I resign, and decided to follow. There was a gentleman with the phone that, that provides telephones in Sierra Leone. Apparently, this gentleman was in business with the president, President B.O. Now, when he was called in by Mr. Kante, Ibrahim Tawa Kante, the way he was, his mannerism, his pastor, everything wasn't right. And he had the audacity to say, I'm the big boy in this room. And I applaud you again, Mr. Kante, the way you dealt with that whole situation, the way you dealt with them, show who was the big dog in that room. And it's not always who's the big dog, it's who's an intelligent individual. So the way you handled that whole situation, I applaud you, well done, and I applaud you for walking out of there. Because no one should be disrespecting you when you are actually doing your job. You're actually asking sincere questions to understand what the basis of his actions were. But instead he was like, oh, the president know about it. Oh, I'm the big dog. You can't question. Seriously? The way sometimes a lot of people think, it shows that they have no morals. And I'm glad that we have someone that let them know who they really are. So, Sir Honorable, I put the sir on it. Sir Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Kante, well done. Well done. Because no one in front of your committee, because you guys called him in as an investigation to know what is going on in reference to that contract. And his response was totally, utterly disrespectful. And you, my good man, well done. Now, you resigning, I think that was a little bit harsh, to be quite honest. But again, I respect the position you play. And that's to show you how a leader should be. Because when you got up and you walked out, your entire committee resigned as well. And they walked out with you that very moment and left the quote-unquote big dog by himself, wondering what just happened. Every action, there should be a reaction. Just like these hooligans who are the forest guards becoming army/police, they need to be dealt with. They need to be dealt with. Now, let's just walk down another lane. Let's just walk down another lane of someone else that I admire. And, I'm going to quote him. I'm going to quote him as what he says. He says, the parliament doesn't believe in people that have the ability to challenge the status quo and to do the right thing for the country. And that's not the only statement he made, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the only statement he made. He was Also, you know, he's a member of the parliament. And this is a gentleman that appeared on BBC Focus on Africa. And he made another statement. Quote unquote, I repeat, there is corruption in the parliament. Unquote. This is someone that I respect. When you see something is wrong in your country, happening to your fellow countrymen, speak up on it. The parliament has a position to do so much, but due to all this corruption that Ben Khalifa apparently had missed, it's still going on. Sa Ben Khalifa. Now, if this is not giving you an indication that you're somehow missing your check boxes, then something is not right. And the funniest thing, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman's name is Hindolo Moya Give Ahu. I do apologize if I am messing your name, but it's Hindolo Moya. This gentleman was brave enough to stand up and say the parliament is wrong. The parliament is wrong. So I will be showing you another video shortly, but let's just go on to what the parliament did. They suspended this gentleman. And they suspended 3 other gentlemen for speaking up against them and saying that the parliament is corrupt. We need to have a change. It is only us that can support Sierra Leone. Now that pressure is being put on the Speaker of the Parliament in Sierra Leone to reinstate the 4 members of the Parliament that are suspended, the Speaker described their actions, their behavior, as a gross conduct, quote unquote, gross conduct, unquote. If you are doing something, they call it whistleblowing. You're doing something wrong. You are in a position to support the country. You are there to see what can be done to make the country a better place. But instead, you care about sending your children overseas to go shopping, to go away for school. And because of these 4 gentlemen had the heart, the audacity, who are being humane, and said, this is wrong. We cannot do this. We are not here to make ourselves rich and let these people continue to suffer. Something has to be done. But instead of acknowledging them, they were suspended. And the Speaker of the House, the Parliament, the Speaker of the House, because of their bravery, the way he rewards them is by calling them their behavior as, quote unquote, a gross conduct. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder. Because let's just talk for a minute. Each and every one of us want to enjoy their old age. Each and every one of us want to see our children grow. We want to see our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. And each and every one of us work hard to make a difference in the country. or in the lives of others. Why are we not setting examples for our young ones to follow us? Why can't we build our country? What is actually wrong with us? We definitely need to look in ourselves and within ourselves to see what needs to be done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the usage of water. But before we even talk about that, I would like to show the video of the water. Okay, now apparently, again, the videos are turned the opposite way. But again, we will try to rectify all that. Another thing that, that we have spoken prior was the fact that, I do apologize, was the misusage of water in Sierra Leone. Now, I spoke about the firefighters not having the proper training, right? That's one. Now, if you don't have the proper training, how can you save someone? Okay, you have the right equipment. But what do you need to stop fire? Well, let's just say water. Let's go with the water aspect. We'll go with the water aspect, okay? Now, for my investigations, the water that the firefighters are supposed to use to turn this water off, the fire, save the lives, they're selling. They're literally actually taking this water to construction sites and selling them to the higher bidder. Let's be realistic. If you are getting paid right, and you know there are consequences to your actions, would you behave to a point of you sacrificing your job? If you have a good job, you're getting paid right, would you need to take bribery? Would you need to jeopardize the lives of so many people? Would you? And how do you think the people will feel? How do you think that the people will take it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are having, difficult. The camera is on. So all I can say is that we need to pay our staff. We need to pay these people because things are not going right in Sierra Leone. A lot of things are happening that should not be happening. These people are selling water that they're supposed to be using to save the lives of people. Ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be, something with the system. So we are trying to fix it. Just give us time, but we will be up. Now, the lady she found a stream of water. Isata Jenna is her name. She found a stream of pure water that these people were drinking from. one thing I don't understand is the government should be aware of this stream, because this gentleman that is showing us this beautiful waterfall that the government can put pipes and supply Sierra Leone. We're not able to do that. We are literally not able to do that. Why? Are we waiting for foreigners to come in and take advantage of that stream as well? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How can we help our people? Now, Isata Jenna went to visit Sierra Leone. She's big on education as well, because I just have to speak on her. She's big on education. She's supporting the educational system in Sierra Leone. She's trying to be an activist. She's trying to see how she can now get this water to the right people. Now, if you look at the video, which we also have, you will see the fact that the people are without water, but there are pipes there leading to government offices or government homes. Sir Ben Khalifa, I ask you again, is that not some form of neglect? They're neglecting the people for their betterment. They're putting the health of the people. And if the health system falls, the economy will collapse. We have a stream that can be utilized to support these people, to make a change in Sierra Leone, for these people to be able to say, we have our own stream. But instead of us to do this, we are not looking into it. Now, I looked at the white paper. I spent a lot of time studying this white paper. And majority, well, a large percent of these people are the APC member or former members. Now, is it just me? Please feel free to correct me. Is it just me, or is it the fact that when a reigning party comes into power and they're doing an investigation, no one should be excluded? Correct? A fraud is a fraud. A crime is a crime. So why are we worried about only one party when criminal activities are being done on both ends? We spoke about the Ebola money. 50 ambulances were purchased. A care center, a treatment center was built to support the people. And a lot of young men, young women were given employment to work. And they were paid. Now, let's move forward. The coronavirus. So much money was given. 30 SUVs, Land Cruisers to be precise, were purchased. Were they purchased to transport the ill, the sick people? I'm not here to say who is wrong, who's right. But I can definitely tell you I am here for the betterment of my country, for the betterment of my fellow Sierra Leoneans, for the betterment of our nation. we need to show a strong front. If we present a strong front, there's nothing that can break that front. But when there is destruction, we give people the opportunity to come in and destroy. There's a saying, united we stand, divided we fall. So where are we? Divided, united. United, divided. I don't like you because you're from the south. Or I don't like you because you're from the north. That's irrelevant. What matters is human lives. What matters is the proper education for these youths to be able to be educated. Now, these are the future of tomorrow, these young people. If we're not educating them, how are they going to ever be able to lead? They're just going to repeat what they see now. Which is what? Corruption, deprivation of liberty. I can go on and so on. Injustice. It's just a lot of things going on. We need to come together. We need to present a strong front. We need to tell the parties that come into power as to say, you are a civil servant. You are given this position by me, by we, by us, by we the people, to bring a change in this country, to make a difference. Now, if you are following where I'm going with this, we're too busy pointing fingers instead of actually to say, this is the problem. Let's come up with a solution. Now, Isata Jenner has just discovered this waterfall. Let's see how the government is going to play this card. Hindalu and 3 of his colleagues have made the statement on TV that the parliament is corrupt. Let's see how this is going to be played out. Now, also, the fact that these people, these forest guards, are running around Freetown, creating such a havoc, I want to see how this is going to be played out. What repercussion is going to be handed? Because if you do something, you have to pay for it. Every action, there's a reaction. Who gave them the authority, as I stated in the beginning? Who's supporting them? A lot of these people act the way they do just to go back due to lack of education. So any ship that come by, they're willing to jump in because they think that ship is going to help them escape to a better place, hypothetically speaking. They don't realize that the destruction that they're doing is going to affect them as well. That these people who's given them this little 1 million leones, that money is going to run out. Then where are they going to be again? Coming back to the same people they were hurting. Coming back to the same people that they were trying to, violate. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is we have so much natural resources. The country is difficult because of our leaders. Yes, that is a fact. But we as children of this wonderful nation have to do something to develop it. I know I've spoken to a lot of you investors, and you always say you don't want to go there because you have to pay this person, you have to pay that person, you have to bribe this person for you to even go see that other person. Then when you see that person, you have to bribe them to go see the other person. And by the time you get to the project that you're trying to do, you're out of money. Sincerely, it's quite sad. When will this change? A lot of people, my auntie Ashmao is in Sierra Leone, build a beautiful school to help these children. A lot of foreigners are going to Sierra Leone to try to educate these children. We have to educate these kids, these young, brilliant minds, and let them know that, you know what, there's nothing that is impossible. There's nothing that you cannot do. If you arm a child with education, they will be able to feed themselves instead of relying on you all the time. Now, the way we foreigners see Sierra Leone, when we go there, we see the young kids, instead of being in school, supporting their grandmothers to beg. When we can put that kid in school, that poor old lady who cannot see, find a treatment center to support her. Find a way to provide food for her instead of her being on the streets. We claim the population is so much in Sierra Leone because everybody's trying to hustle. Everybody's trying to earn a living. Why can't the government structure something for these young youths? Why can't the government structure something for these young youths? It puzzles me in so many ways. It puzzles me because if you go to some parts of Freetown, you start wondering, am I in the capital? We put the kids in school. We give people jobs. We create jobs for them. That will clean up the streets a little bit. Now, when they're at work, we can try to create different marketplaces. Look at the market. If we organize it, make it more hygienic, that will save lives and that will give more people work. Let's open a shopping center, a mall. Let's find ways to put these people to work. And people will be more than happy to spend money if they go to somewhere where they feel comfortable. You go to the marketplace, you go when you want to work out because of smell. And that's where a lot of them go buy their daily bread. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we know what is really going on. But again, I cannot always say we have to depend on the government. Let me tell you a quick story. A child comes home every day and he sees his daddy, his father, sitting there drinking a nice cup of tea with a nice bowl of food. But when this child asks his parent, the parent said, no, I don't have it right now. But you are eating, and I see you eating. You're drinking a nice cup of tea. But when I ask you, you're not giving it to me. That child comes back the next day, and he keeps repeating. He keeps repeating. What do you think that child is going to do? That child is not going to have faith and his father anymore. That child will look for ways to survive. Now, these are all hypothetical, stories. I'm just saying. But let me reverse it to you in layman's terms as to what I'm trying to say. If the government is eating, and we the children are not being properly fed, but we see the government eating, we know they're eating, but when we ask for support, they're not providing it, it's time for us to find a means of survival. Now, I don't advocate violence. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's time to think logically. Think out the box. Think out the box, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many intelligent brains, like brilliance in Sierra Leone in these young youths, making generators, making radios, building helicopters, doing so many different things, but they're not getting the proper support. What are we to do? The country, again, I cannot put enough emphasis on it, is calling out to you, diasporas. It's time to step up. Find a way you can contribute in making a difference in the lives of those that are in need of your service. I'm not saying that you're in a better place, because Africa is also a better place. It's a good place. But the opportunities that you have, they don't have. So in a way, you're in a better place than they are. You will one day want to go back home. Do something. Create something. Make a difference. Somebody will thank you. Anytime an older person or younger person say, God bless you, God hears that. You might not see the blessing, but maybe your child or your grandchild or your great-grandchild will receive that blessing. As we're coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen, I always said that I always want to show the project that we have for Sierra Leone. The Give Love, Show Love. So we're going to show this, and when we get back, we'll wrap it up.
Amaze TV is here to restore, rebuild, revive the nation.
We can never appreciate the hardship that creates a feeling of having nothing, but we can create the change that makes a difference. Join us, and together we can have an impact.
It's time for us to change the narrative and extend our humanity to the entire world.
Love is kind. It is not self-seeking. Let us extend our love and kindness in the best possible way we can.
Freely you have received the love of God. Freely give back to society. Extend a blessing to someone out there.
One can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000.
We believe in our communities and we believe in our youths. Let's work together and make a difference.
Our world needs you to be a part of a revolutionary change.
United we stand, divided we fall.
Give love.
Show love.
Hashtag Give love. show love.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Give Love, Show Love. This is how we are doing what we are doing to support our brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone. This is a movement that we would love for you to get involved in. I come here every week to update you on what is going on in Sierra Leone. But I also want you to know we are not just going to point fingers at you. We want us all to put our hands together, not point fingers, none of that. Put our hands together and make a difference. Reach out to us at Give Love, Show Love, and we'll put the information at the bottom. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. May God bless you, be with you, and your family. Have a good night. Miguel, how are you? Keith and Kyle. Thank you, ladies, for watching. Have a good night.
You are watching on TV.